AS Roma car, now shown in second place, is lapping almost 2 seconds a lap quicker. So at some stage the Spurs will have to make their pit stop, and Roma will then go into the lead. But the other big news is that the Olympiacos car is still in third place, and he has made his pit stop, and that's that young driver, Stamatis Katsimis. He's certainly making a name for himself.
He's actually
he's dropped now.
Yeah, he's dropped because he's back on track. But he's dropped not so much because he's in fifth position. That's pretty good. He's in front of Liverpool, so a very good performance.
The Beijing car is up to 9th now. Davide Rigon, he's doing a 24.6, not quite the fastest man out there. In fact, Yelma Berman going very well, but the FC Porto car is flying.
Yes, the FC Porto car was starting back down in 11th position, I think, and he's now running in 6th, so he did a very good job.
Yeah, Tristan Gomendi, and he's closing up, I think, on the Eindhoven car in front for a podium spot, of course. But a completely different strategy for Tottenham Hotspur, and Duncan Tappy continues to lead. There's Olympiacos in a firm 5th place, and that's absolutely a great result for this Greek driver.
It's going to be even better once Tottenham Hotspurs are going to pit, because they should pit quite soon now. His last lap is in a 26.0, which is not so fast.
Spurs car is in, look, the number 19 car, and I suggest he'll get back into the field round about 9th place, something like that. Leaves a pair of black lines from that 700 horsepower engine as he accelerates away.
And it's a strange strategy, Andrew, because he has now new tyres.
Yeah.
And he should have used these new tyres earlier on to get the best out of them for a longer time. But we'll see where he joins back. AS Roma is now leading.
AS Roma, the new leader here. And that's fantastic for the local fans. This could be a fairy tale success here for Roma. And Frank Pereira, of course, came into the series at Estoril, immediately put the car on pole position, and a very talented man. He's done a lot of racing here in Italy. A man who was one of the Toyota development drivers, raced in Formula 3, and then went out and raced in America last year until the ride went away, had to drop back to the Indy Lights category, immediately showed his speed in that and won. And a talented guy is Frank Pereira.
Yeah, pushing hard and driving. The driving style is pretty similar to Davide Rigon. You see very tight apexes, waits for the car to turn, and then back onto the power with the steering wheel straight. Suits the car very well, and actually he does well. He laps pretty quickly and consistently, and he's leading in front of Eindhoven and Tottenham, who has done a good job.
Roma first, after 15 laps. Second, Eindhoven. Third, it's Porto. Fourth, Olympiacos.
And there is a bit of a fight between Porto and Olympiacos, I think.
And Porto now closing up on Eindhoven, I think.
Yes, Porto and Eindhoven.
And look at this. Here's a replay.
Davide Rigon overtakes Craig Dolby. Very nice maneuver. And, no question on the braking. Braking probably 10 meters later. And not even locking the wheel, not making any mistakes. Very strong Davide Rigon.
He moves up to 8th place then. The Anderlecht car drops back to 9th. Just look at the progress of Sevilla. Had so many problems in the opening race, and he's currently in 10th position. The AS Roma car, however, is now being caught by Eindhoven. Bruce, look at this, and Porto. Yeah.
Porto is right into the gearbox of Eindhoven, right behind. Porto is very close, as we can see now on screen.
So Roma in the lead, and a battle for second place between Eindhoven and Porto closing up, and still the Greek driver staggeringly in 4th place. And look at the time that Greek driver has really got to grips with this car, put in a personal best of 1:24.4. And certainly Tappy using the tyres well on the Tottenham Hotspur car. He's in 5th place at the moment. Well, we're watching this battle, and a big lock, he's gone wide, and that's just a chance that's required. And thank you very much. And Porto goes through. Excellent
move from
racing.
Gomendi, mistake from Guillaume Berman there.
Well, it's action all the way here in Vallelunga in Rome. We've had two big incidents, we've had some great moves, and we had some surprise drivers running right up the top five, but still it's AS Roma. Well, you saw it again. Here's another angle. Too late on the brakes, locks up. Left the gap open, and thank you very much. And up I go into second place, says Porto.
That's Tristan Gomendi putting pressure on the Eindhoven car, and they've probably lost, the two of them have probably lost a little bit of time, and it helps AS Roma to go away. AS Roma's last lap wasn't so good, and we'll have another look when he crosses the line. 24.5 for AS Roma, 23.8 for FC Porto. Fastest lap for AC Porto on that lap. Is coming back very fast on AS Roma.
Well, Tristan Gomendi really needs this. Had a diabolical meeting in Estoril. Engine blew up, in fact, in race 1, and couldn't take part in race 2 at Estoril. He has yet to get on the podium. In fact, looking at the chart, I think his best result thus far was 5th in the one of the earlier races for Gomendi.
And he still has got 15 minutes to close the gap and try to make a move, and that's way enough time.
Yeah, the gap now 3.3 seconds, and we'll watch that gap reduce on Roma, with Eindhoven still third, and staggeringly Olympiacos still running there in fourth place, with Tottenham Hotspur and Liverpool running fifth and sixth, the two great British teams together. But the battle we're really watching is at the front of the field. What can FC Porto do about Roma?
And now FC Porto's there, Eindhoven's not very far, Olympiacos is there, Tottenham is there, Liverpool is coming back as well, Galatasaray is very quick, and Beijing did it 124.4, which is his best personal in that race. So we've got the top 8 now being very close together.
Well, Stamatis Katsimas is now down at the 124s for Olympiacos, as he has been for a while, and he's staying with those good lap times, and similar times from Liverpool and Galatasaray. And the Beijing car doing a 24.6, and the Beijing car still on the move, trying to move up a little bit, but this will certainly keep the championship open, of course.
AS Roma did a 124.4 on the last lap. His team probably told him on the radio that FC Porto was coming back. FC Porto not able to keep on pushing as hard as on the previous lap when he lapped in the 23s. He's now in the 24.2, which is 2/10 quicker than AS Roma.
So Roma continue to lead. Porto second, Eindhoven third, and then Olympiacos, sensational performance by Stamatis Katsimas. And then it's Tapi for Tottenham Hotspur, Liverpool, Galatasaray, Beijing, Anderlecht, Seville, and Glasgow in 11th place. And we just have 13 cars running at the moment. Great shots there, the AS Roma car.
In the last lap, AS Roma still the car, very close to the white line. He's using all the track. He's driving well, Frank. Not having too much understeer, being quite happy with the car balance. I think 24.41 and 24.40 for the first two cars. Exactly the same lap time, just 1,000 between the two cars, so that's very close.
And Eindhoven dropping back a little bit now, and could even drop back into the clutches of Olympiacos.
And just for an information, Sevilla is back into the pits with problem, so Sevilla is out of the race.
Well, that's disappointing for their driver, Borja Garcia. But at the front of the field, still Roma and Porto. Well, can Porto and Tristan Gomendi do anything about this? French commentator here.
Frank Perrin nearly off. Outbraked himself, went completely sideways into the corner. He starts to struggle with the car balance maybe, and Porto getting closer and closer.
Yeah, that would have lost him time.
Engine gone for Borja.
So he hops out. bespectacled racing driver, end of his day here. Avalonga, sun shining, but the